Washington State travels cross-country. Again, they've already done it once, but they travel to JMU to face the Dukes in a game that matters a lot for JMU potentially, and for Washington State, it's just a chance to get another win. It's been a disappointing season for them. With that being said, JMU is favored by 13.5 at home. Maybe a slightly surprising spread, but I think it just speaks to the quality of JMU as one of the best group of 5 teams. And then just the struggles that Washington State's had all year, especially in consistency. The biggest stat for me in this game is JMU is top 10 in the country in rushing yards per game.
Yep.
And Washington State is 30th in the country in rushing yards allowed. It's kind of the strength of their team. And even when you think about some teams they played, they held Ole Miss to under 200 rushing yards a game and kept that game close. They held Virginia to right around 100 rushing yards a game, and Jamar Taylor's had great success there on the ground in a lot of games. So they've proven that against good rushing attacks, they can have success slowing it down. So I'm interested to see how that plays out on the field Saturday.
Yeah, I'm really curious. For JMU, do they again play pissed off? Because for whatever reason, the committee has decided to rank Tulane as the 24th best team in the country. And
Tulane's head coach doesn't even agree with it.
I don't agree with it as well. Tulane got blown out by the school up north and lost to
UTEP?
No, UTSA.
UTSA.
And the Roadrunners, who are a 5-5 American team.
Lost
right
by
now.
22, I think.
Yes, blown out, 26-48, if I'm not mistaken. But apparently the 24th best team in the country. I don't know. It makes no sense to me. JMU sits here at 9-1 as what I would argue a top. They're in the teens at least. Team in the country. They deserve the right to go play in the college football playoff. If for the committee and all the weird things that they use as explanation for their rankings, how about we just use Tulane played at Ole Miss against a team that's going to be in the playoff. Okay, well, let's put Tulane in the playoff. Oh, how did that game go? Pretty sure it's 45-10. Not close at all. I think JMU deserves to be in. If that's could just be an explanation of, already saw Tulane go on the road in a playoff game, which is what the 12 seed is going to do, and it didn't go well. Maybe JMU has a better fighting chance. They've gone on the road to Louisville and only lost by 14, and that game was closer than 14 points. Louisville's not a playoff team, but they also beat Miami, who at the time was the number 2 team in the country. I digress, though, mainly because we're all angered that JMU isn't ranked higher or ranked at all.
That's why I said this game kind of maybe matters, because at this point it's I don't believe there's anything JMU can do to change the committee's mind. I think their mind's made up about the Sun Belt and JMU as a whole, and they've made up their mind that the group of 5 team is going to come from the American.
Yeah.
If Tulane loses, I just fully expect, North Texas is now kind of the team in that spot. So that's why it's this game kind of matters, because theoretically I guess JMU does still have a shot, but it just doesn't feel like that's reality.
And the North Texas thing could matter, which is where the common opponent could come into play if you're comparing the two teams. Washington State played at North Texas. They lost 59-10. So that was not a close game at all. So JMU has to do the same.
Yeah.
Being at home, they need to double up, if not triple up, on the spread of 13.5.
Which is scary, because if sometimes a team that knows they have to come out and dominate and they start trying to press from the jump, you start making mistakes and stuff like that, and it can go sideways on you.
JMU's not prone to mistakes.
True.
They have to avoid penalties in this game. They're 129th in yards per game. That's bottom 7 in the country. It's 69 penalty yards per game. Washington State, like we have said, they hung close with Ole Miss and Virginia, both on the road, but they were blown out by North Texas and Washington in the Apple Cup. Washington State, their quarterback play has been atrocious this year. Zevi, their current starter, is 10 touchdowns, 8 picks. Offensively, they don't do anything well. They don't run the ball well. They're 99th in the country. They don't pass the ball well. They're 97th in the country. And they will be facing strength versus strength, as Jack said. Top 30 for Washington State defensively in both passing and rushing categories. JMU is the 7th best rush offense in the country at 234 per game. with Knight and Alonzo Barrett, and they run a couple of backs as well on top of that. That is the key to it, is how well does Washington State hold up against the run versus JMU. And then this game very easily could look like the Virginia and the School Up North game earlier this year, both on the road. Washington State has a defense that will travel, and like Jack said, they slowed down the run game for both of those teams that rely a good part on the run. Sanders, any things on this one before we get into picking it?
No, y'all already hit on the big one I had was, like, does JMU feel defeated already? Because in their eyes, they've done everything they can, dominating every team except for that Louisville game where they lose a close one at Louisville. Do they feel defeated, I guess, at this point, because it feels like it doesn't matter what we do, we're not going to get the respect we deserve? Or do they use that as fuel for the fire and they come out and they play, like you said earlier, pissed off? I don't know what we're going to get. I would lean towards them coming out pissed off and dominating in this game, but there's a real world where they come out and, like you said, they're trying too hard. They're trying too hard to impress the committee, trying too hard to earn that spot in the top 25 to be that G5 team, and it ends up tripping them up, and they stumble here near the finish line. I'm not sure which we'll get. I hope we get the best of them. I want to see them play at their best. Because right now I do think they deserve to be the team out of the G5 in the playoffs, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
Yeah, I agree. Shall we pick this game?
Let's pick it. JP?
Start with me. I'm going to take JMU to win and cover. I'm going to take the Dukes minus the 13.5. I think they'll play pissed off. I think they'll be ready. I think they'll run all over that really good Washington defense, but that Washington State defense, I also don't think Washington State's going to have much success moving the ball down the field, as evidenced by what they've put on tape through 10 games this season. And so I'll take JMU to cover 2 touchdowns. I don't think it's going to be a huge blowout. I don't think it'll be like the North Texas game, but I think it's in the 20s.
Yeah.
Give me the Dukes to win and not change the committee's mind, because I doubt the committee has ESPN Plus.
Probably not.
I will go JMU as well. I just feel like other than that Ole Miss game, I haven't heard a lot about Washington State and their ability to compete. So I will go with JMU covering here because they have played well against every team on their schedule.
Yeah, I'm also going to take JMU. Go Dukes. Just get the job done. Win by 3 touchdowns. Try your best to change the committee's mind. I think it's a futile endeavor, but I can dream and I can hope. So JMU to cover.